Welcome to Community Conversations. I'm Frederick County Executive Jan Gardner. Each week we try to bring you a show to share some interesting information about something exciting happening in Frederick County. Today my guest is Nancy Norris, who's the Director of Transit Services for Frederick County Government. Welcome, Nancy.
Thank you, Jan. It's good to be here.
Can you tell people a little bit about what your role is and your background and how long you've been the Director of Transit?
Sure. Well, I graduated from the University of Maryland. I worked for a computer company for a while, and I came to Transit about 15 years ago. And I've been the Community Relations Manager and the Assistant Director, and now I've been the Director for about 4 years.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about what transit services are in Frederick County, just kind of an overview of the services that are provided?
Yes. We provide fixed route service, and those fixed routes deviate if needed to pick people up who are unable to make it to a bus stop. And we provide paratransit service, which is Transit Plus. We go to the door of seniors and people with disabilities that are registered users and pick them up and take them to their appointments. And we provide commuter shuttles to the MARC train. We also provide shuttles to the rural areas like Brunswick, Jefferson, Emmitsburg, and Thurmont. And we have a ride share program where we do whatever we can to help people get out of their cars, not drive alone, and use other methods, be it van pool or transit. And in that role, we have a community relations manager, and we attend over 60 events in the community every year, spreading the word about our services and also other regional transit options.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's news to me too. Well, I know there's a lot of innovation happening within transit, a lot of exciting things. I think we're going to continue to see things change rapidly. Mm-hmm. So do you want to talk a little bit about some of those things? I know we have a new mobile app for Easy Fare and electric buses and a number of other things. So if you can share these things with our viewers, I think they'd be interested.
Yeah, the new mobile app, we launched that on January 1st. And so our customers can download the app and then buy their tickets on their phone, and the phone is actually the ticket. There aren't many transit systems in the country yet that have this, so we're kind of on the cutting edge. And now we're about to launch phase 2, and we will be the only ones to have this. And this is a feature that will allow agencies to buy bulk tickets and then push those tickets to multiple phones for their clients to use. And then the electric buses, we are days away from awarding a contract for electric buses. And again, we're going to be the first ones on the East Coast to have these buses.
Wow.
And the infrastructure is currently in design. And then we are also about to start the Taxi Access Program, or TAP. That will start in early fall, and that's for registered users of Transit Plus. And you opened the restrictions, and now that is going to be available to them 24/7. So these people who didn't have any transportation options at night or on the weekends now will have some options.
Which I think is great. Now, those are big things I want to talk about. Now, on the TAP program, the taxi program, can you just describe what you have to do to become a registered user? Because it's not really open to everyone every day. It really, you do have to be signed up to use the program.
You have to be a registered Transit Plus user. So on our website or by mail, you can get an application. If you're a senior that's considered 60 plus, you can automatically register with proof of your age. And if you're a person with a disability, there is a section that has to be completed by a professional to certify that. And then current users will be immediately eligible. If you're just now signing up, you would have to use Transit Plus for 6 months before you would be eligible for the Taxi Access Program.
Okay. So what's the benefit of the Taxi Access Program for people?
Well, right now, our Transit Plus users, if you have to register for or book a trip 10 days to 2 days in advance. So if you wake up someday and you don't feel well, you can call us. If we can fit you in, we do. But chances are we're going to be booked up. And then how do you get to the doctor? So the taxi program will allow them, if you reserve some of your trips for those emergency situations, you can still get to the doctor the same day. And then it opens up evenings and weekends, or people will be able to go to church.
Okay, excellent. So I guess we'll track the success of that program. Now talk a little bit about the electric buses. Will these be all electric or will they be hybrids?
They're all electric. They're actually refurbished electric buses, so it's good for the environment because they take an old bus, they completely strip it down, it's repainted, everything on it is new, and it's fully electric. Each of those buses will save $464,000 over the lifetime of the bus in maintenance, and we expect to save about $230,000 over the lifetime of the bus in fuel.
Wow. So that's the savings fuel to the consumption of electricity.
Right.
So I assume there'll be electric charging stations installed for these. So what's the distance a bus can go on once they're fully charged?
Yeah, that is rapidly changing. The battery technology is in its infancy and it's changing so quickly. Right now it's about 150 miles and one of our buses travels about 100 miles a day. So we should be able to put it out and have full service all day. And then we will have the charging stations at the TransIT facility to charge them overnight.
So how many electric buses are we getting and when will they be received and be put into service?
We're expecting to order 7 because we will order the ones that we received funding for last year and then this year's funding. So we will order 7 and we should be able to get them in service by the end of the calendar year.
Okay. So can you talk a little bit about how they're funded?
Yeah, capital purchases for the transit system are funded with 80% federal money, 10% state money, and 10% county money. And actually for these electric vehicles, the county funded 2. We used bus advertising funds for 3, and then the rest of them were funded with smart energy money, which is through the Maryland Department of Energy Administration.
Okay. So basically, the cost to us to acquire these buses is very low.
Very low.
I always want people to know that. I mean, that's true for most of the buses that we buy, no matter what they are.
Right.
But in this case, it's even a better deal because we have money from other sources, like the Maryland Energy Administration.
Exactly.
So it'll be interesting to see what the maintenance and how well these buses work once they're in service.
Yeah, we're excited about it. And we have another new feature. We're about to get automatic vehicle location systems and automatic passenger counters on all our connector buses. Right now, we collect a lot of data we have to report to the Federal Transit Administration. And so this will automate all that. But the most exciting part is for our customers, they'll be able to see on their smartphone or computer exactly where the buses are. They'll be able to set alerts. For instance, if you get off work at 5 o'clock and it's a 10-minute walk to your bus stop, you could set an alert for a particular stop and a particular bus, and it will tell you in real time when the bus will be there. So you don't have to go out and wait around in the cold or the rain for your bus. Another program we have that's underway right now is our bus shelter program. There aren't a lot of shelters in our system, and so for people who are waiting out there in the bad weather, it's going to be such an improvement. We have a company who installs the bus shelters, does everything at no cost to the county. They sell advertising on those shelters and in return give us a portion of the revenue.
Wow. So I guess the key to the bus shelter program is to find location and property owners who will allow that
Exactly.
Bus shelter to be installed on their property.
Right.
So, and I think I've at least seen one of those easements come
Yes.
to my desk for
There'll be
signature.
quite a few, I'm afraid.
Well, good. I think that's great because that, again, improves the service for the users that are out there, and that's what it's all about. Yeah. Technology is incredible. Now, what percentage of the regular transit riders actually have a phone that they can use the app on for either the Easy Fare or for tracking the location of the bus they're waiting for?
Over 65%. And that number is growing by leaps and bounds. More and more people these days are using their phone for their computer purposes. And so more and more riders have smartphones.
Now, what percentage of the riders use the bus to go to work?
About half. It's just under 50% are using it to get to work.
Okay. And what's the breakdown of the other half?
People are going to medical appointments, going shopping, going to local businesses. In fact, there's a transit stop. Right now, there's a transit stop within a quarter mile of 95% of all the businesses in Frederick City. And So that's pretty good. We're getting people to businesses to spend their money in local business. So it's a big economic driver.
If people want to know more about transit, whether it's a bus schedule or these new mobile apps, or how they can sign up to be able to use the new technology, how can they best contact you?
Well, we have our website, of course. We're a link on the county's main page, and it's frederickcountymd.gov/transit. And we also have a Facebook page, Transit Services Frederick. They can call us at 301-600-2065. And we're on Twitter at Transit Services. We really encourage our customers to follow us on Twitter because in cases of bad weather, that's how we announce things that they would get the word as soon as the decision is made.
That's the quickest way to get it. Now, do the bus drivers themselves have some of this information available for people?
Yes, we can have that on board the buses, and the bus drivers are aware of some of the new projects that are going on.
Well, it's really exciting. Technology is really going to change and improve transit services.
It really is.
And I'm really proud of you and your team and all the good work they've done to be on the cutting edge of innovation.
We have a very dedicated team of drivers and staff, and everyone's so excited. It's energized everybody with all these new projects coming on.
Well, thank you for joining me today. And to you, our viewing audience, I hope you learned some exciting things about what's happening in transit services. It's very easy now to get a ticket, to find out what's going on, and even to find out when the bus you're waiting for is going to arrive. So if you're interested in learning more about transit, we will have information on the screen for you to contact Transit Services. Thank you for joining us.